real root cause of ED has nothing to do with low testosterone levels. In fact, according to research from Columbia University and various Ivy League universities, if you are taking testosterone supplements to eliminate your ED, then you may have been lied to. And more importantly, in this quick video, you are about to discover how I managed to cure my ED for good within hours without taking male enhancement pills, expensive heart-destroying drugs like Viagra, which does nothing for the real root cause of ED, or paying over $2,000 for ineffective low-T therapy that only works on less than 5% of men, giving me the ability to enjoy full, long-lasting erections literally on demand. I was able to turn back the clock and blast off with rock-hard erections that gave my wife more unadulterated pleasure than she's felt in years. I'm talking about those kind of almost too big but every girl loves them erections that you had when you were younger. Remember those? Well, after applying the method for yourself, you'll begin experiencing the most powerful, long-lasting, and full erections of your life. And it doesn't matter what age you are, whether you struggle with full-blown ED or even if you don't have a problem and just want to add a massive surge of vitality to your sex life. And yes, if you're skeptical, I totally get it. I would be too. In fact, before I dug out the truth, just like probably every other guy, I had to hang my head in shame by those little blue pills and hope and pray they really worked and that I would finally win in the bedroom again. However, you need to watch this right to the end immediately. This video could be removed at any time because they do not want me revealing their secrets. Why? Because the only folks who are winning right now are big companies and the billions they make profiting from our ED shame. So if you want to change all that, please watch until the very end right now. If you don't, you're going to miss out for good. And now in just a moment, I'm going to explain to you the simple science behind my discovery and show you how to address your own ED issues with a simple yet proven technique. It's a way to finally get your sex life back on your own terms. And that's precisely what more than 48,742 men have already experienced. Men like Kevin Sanders from Atlanta, Georgia, who was skeptical at first. But, well, listen to what he has to say and you'll see what I mean. He says, I watched your video and heard about your completely all-natural way of getting an erection whenever I wanted to and without any annoying pills, and it seemed like a fantasy to me. I could actually cure my ED simply by using some items I could get at my local store. I had to ask myself, why had I not heard about this before? I chose to give in and go for it. I was simply fed up of spending $8 for every pill that didn't fix the problem long term. My love life had been suffering because of this decision and I was losing all hope. I thought to myself, what have I got to lose? And I went for it. I gave your method a try and can honestly say that within 48 hours I was getting the best erections of my life. It's hard to believe, but the feeling was incredible. Now let's just say my love life is the best it's been in years and can make my wife happy several times a day. Thanks, Jack. I can't believe I didn't discover this earlier. That was from Kevin Sanders. Here's another one from Ken Jackson of Minneapolis, Minnesota, who shared, before coming across your website, my life was miserable. My sex life with my wife was non-existent. My biggest issue was that I already had a medical condition that meant I could not take ED pills, so I was pretty limited on options. I tried a few other wonder extracts that didn't help my problem at all. They just contained chemicals that really did more harm than good for my body. Your natural method for curing ED really does work, and I can't thank you enough. It's set out in a way that I could easily follow, and the results speak for themselves. Let's say that non-existent sex life is completely the opposite now. My marriage is the best it's been in years. Thank you, Jack. All the best. Ken Jackson. And another one from Jason Wallace of Boise, Idaho, who wrote in to say, I split up with my wife about 6 months ago, and the idea of being intimate with a woman who wasn't my ex was pretty scary, to say the least. I dated several women and sadly could not perform when it came to the big moment. Nerves and anxiety got the better of me. Each time it happened, it got worse, and it made me think it would happen the next time I had the opportunity to be with a woman, and it got worse and worse. I was truly shocked when I watched your video and discovered that there really was a simple way to guarantee that my equipment would be ready to perform, even if I was nervous or afraid of that moment. I read your guide and started doing exactly what you said to do, and sure enough, I had absolutely no trouble with getting it up. You stuck by your word. I'm so relieved that I can date women again now without the worry of this happening. No matter the circumstance, I know I'll be able to perform by following your method. I can enjoy sex now and have fun again, which life is all about. Thanks for your help, Jack. Signed, Jason Wallace. That's just a handful of many, many men who have already used what I expose in this quick video to completely eliminate ED forever. They are enjoying more, better, longer, and stronger sex than ever before, and now you can too. In fact, I'm sure you'll want to get directly to the good stuff, right? Well, to understand why my discovery works so well and why nobody else is telling you about it, it's important for you to know a little bit about me and my story. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Jack Bridges. I'm 52 years old and I currently live in Lincoln, Nebraska. It was nearly 4 years ago to the day that my wife Anna lifted that knife to my manhood. As you can imagine, it was totally unexpected, especially since it happened on her 50th birthday. I had known that turning the big 5-0 was hard for Anna, but I had no idea what was really going on inside her head. I thought it was just the typical getting older stuff. Buying her really nice jewelry has always worked in the past, so I saved up to score her a brilliant diamond bracelet. She'd been eyeing it for months, so I was sure it was going to do the trick. Boy, was I wrong. I planned to take her to a nice dinner on her birthday and give her the bracelet for dessert. However, it was a slow day at work, so I chose to come home early and surprise her. Little did I know, it was going to be me who was the recipient of the biggest and most painful surprise that day. Of my life, actually. I wanted to make the most of the surprise, so I parked in front of the neighbor's house and snuck in through the back door. In one hand, I had the bracelet all wrapped up, and in the other, I had a big bouquet of her favorite flowers. I was pretty proud of myself. This was going to be a great birthday after all, I thought. As I tiptoed through the kitchen, I heard her talking in the other room. I peered around the corner and realized she wasn't just talking. She was crying, and she was crying really hard. She was sitting on the sofa with her friend Jean, who had her arms around her, comforting her. And that's when it happened. She cut me to the core, so deeply, and all in a flash. "Yes, I love him," she explained to Jean. "He's a good man.